Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. If you're joining us on YouTube, watching the stream, hello YouTube. Everyone wave. Just wave at them. Wave. Come on, they've shown up for something. We're going to wave at them. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on YouTube. Delighted to have you with us. And also, if you're listening to us on any of the podcatchers or podcast services, iTunes, Spotify, whatever, it's up to you. Even if you're listening to it actually on the SoundCloud app. Very few people that I know. Thank you very much for listening to it. Maybe next time, stream, watch the stream.
You're right, Russ. It gets more passive aggressive every single time.
but it's completely up to you. Thank you either way, whether you're watching or listening. Anyway, today, as you'll have seen on our social media feeds, or if not, you're just one of those people who sits with our channel open all the time. We are going to be doing a news episode.
Sits with our channel open all the time, apart from the 1 hour a week when we're actually putting anything on it.
Absolutely. And do you know what?
Hundreds of people.
If they are those people, that's absolutely fine. We welcome you, one and all. So this is Dan's favourite format this week, and that means news.
News. We don't do the news. We just don't do it anymore, do we? News.
If we do like a stereo pan on it, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
I think the problem is we can see our own faces, and it really puts me off doing it. Yeah. Right, news. Where do we want to start then, guys?
Well, you've got the list,
Probably
so hit us with your list.
This is how we start.
No, we'll do it differently. Start in the middle.
Okay, I'm literally clicking the tab in the middle. Hellblade 2 actress teases Xbox Series X game in new Twitter post. So she's
maybe start. That's nothing.
Jurgens has put up a picture of her with all the tats on, the Nordic tats and stuff, saying that we should be expecting something from Hellblade 2, which is a game that I regularly forget about, but then remember, and I'm always super excited about it.
So what's the subtitle going to be? Because it was Senua's Sacrifice last time.
Senua's Saga. Implying that it's going to be like Senua's Saga, and then the next one's going to be Senua's Saga Part 2 and Senua's Saga Part 3, I'd imagine.
Or she's older and she's sorting out some insurance.
Yeah.
Or going on holiday, yeah.
Policy.
Yeah. It could be. Yeah. So anyway, she's
Senua's Saga
goes with the
trip to
caption,
get a vaccine.
for every battle won, a greater battle takes its place. So I think it's just kind of like, hi, we're still here.
That's
you
not
don't
want
want
it to be, is it?
really.
You want to win one battle and then just be like, sort
done with battles, like battled out, really.
Thinking about it, that's what they should have done, isn't it?
However, if she's done with one battle and then there's another battle, technically she's fighting a war.
Or maybe a saga.
Or a campaign. Who knows?
Well, if the game's called Senua's Saga,
Hey, I've got a point to make.
What?
I'm bored of this article. What's the next one?
Okay, just quickly though, it looks really good. If you haven't played Senua's Sacrifice, it is really fucking good. Give it a go.
Is that one sort of that's got loads of stuff set in the UK and it's all like Stonehenge and druids and weirdness?
Yeah, kinda, yeah. Mm-hmm. Where do we want to go next then, Russ?
Dan, how much of the original Senua's Sacrifice did you play?
I finished it.
Oh, you finished it? Fucking right.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Yeah, it's great.
Fair play. Cool. One of those games you played for 40 minutes.
No, I'll tell you what though. That's most games that aren't Forza. Yeah. I've now put in 18.
There's the achievement box for the first level completed. I think that's about enough for that one.
I think I've got the general gist of the game. Yeah. I've been playing Forza and not GTA, Grand Theft Horses, Red Dead Online, like a lot.
Theft Horses.
It's just really good fun. But I'm dare I say, getting okay at it. Right, so where do you want to go next for the news then?
A quarter in.
A quarter in from the left or the right?
The right. The left. Right.
We're going to take Duncan's answer there. Moon Knight. Who is Ethan Hawke playing? Here we go. So we're getting a Moon Knight TV series.
Word.
Moon Knight is a Marvel character that is going to be played by Oscar Isaacs. And also they've announced a couple of the directors, and two of my favourite directors are going to be on board to direct a few episodes, which is Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead.
So what we're talking about, is this a Disney Plus series or what?
Disney Plus series, yeah. Yeah, Disney Plus series.
Called Moon Knight.
With Oscar Isaacs.
That's the whole thing.
Moon Knight, yeah.
Okay.
That's the name of the character, so yeah. Yeah. It looks like I'm just reading. I don't know too much about Moon Knight. Looks like Ethan Hawke is going to be playing Dracula.
Fair enough.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I hear there is like a literary history of that character. So
in Marvel, I know, because Captain Marvel. Well, whoever Monica Rambeau does at some point also face off with Dracula.
Yeah. I was more thinking that I from what I understand, pre-Marvel, Dracula was kicking about a bit.
Yeah.
No? Am I wrong on that?
There were some sort of fantasy type characters that were around before Marvel existed, yes.
Yeah, he was in Blade Trinity. Wasn't
there you go. Oh, Marvel property though, isn't it? Yeah, he was. That was the worst. Oh, I hated that so much. When they just called him Drake, so they could make him a wrestler.
About Blade Trinity, apart from the fact that the woman in it has to be listening to her iPod while she's fighting, which seems remarkably.
Thus depriving herself of a primary sense.
You can't hear anything, and you've got flappy Apple earbuds popping out your ears every 10 seconds, and of course the phrase "cock juggling thunder cunt." Apart from that, I can't remember anything about that movie.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, Ryan Reynolds was in it, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the long history of Ryan Reynolds being in rubbish superhero films before one actually worked for him. So it's it's not good. Blade Trinity is not good.
Blade and Blade 2, which are both spectacular movies,
both great films.
Real shame.
I could totally watch Blade and Blade 2 again.
Hadn't Wesley Snipes gone quite strange by the time Blade Trinity came out?
Yeah, but the best thing about films is they're captured in the past, so it doesn't really matter what he's.
No, I mean, as in while they were making it, he had gone quite strange.
Yeah, and I think he thought he was Blade.
Yeah,
he's the person that said that if he'd have played Shaft instead of Samuel L. Jackson, he would have made millions and millions more of tax-free dollars. Blade's amazing though, and he's going to be in the new ones apparently. The new one when they release it in some form, not as Blade, but.
Do you remember back when Stephen Dorff was a good actor and he played?
He's great in the first one.
When he was in that film and the Aerosmith video, yeah.
Yes,
that's all I remember him from.
And then he was in a Britney Spears. He was in a Britney Spears music video as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Bye, Duncan.
What you said just disgusted Duncan so much he's left.
Yeah. There he is. Cool.
You two have swapped
Was he in which Britney Spears video? Was it Oops, I Did It Again?
No, it was it was one of the kids like shut a locker and went like no, he was what was it, the one? It was that one with like the music box where she hustled into a hotel, plays her boyfriend, have an argument, and she has a bath and she dies in the bath.
Is that Britney?
What?
That is Britney, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the really the one where there was a cry for help that we all just apparently ignored.
We all ignored. Yeah, it started. The music is like.
Yeah, I know the one. Yeah, and then she wakes up again at the end in like a resurrection kind of way.
Oh, so is he her sexy boyfriend in that?
He's the one who takes off it. Like they have an argument, and he's like, strips off his shirt. And it's like
I'm so annoyed. I'm just going to get my abs out.
Yeah,
I was listening to,
aren't we?
And also that absolute authority to use that Vulture line. He's shredded, so I respect it.
I've just finished listening to a 3-part series on Joy Division, and like I was most of the way, I'm kind of disgusted but just by listening to his lyrics, they couldn't figure out that something was up. But Britney Spears released a video where she died in it, and none of us were just like, Britney, innit? Like that's clearly help, and we just kind of all ignored it, and now her dad is her boss. Sad. Really sad.
Yeah, it has gone south, Britney. She used to be cool, but
she's
still cool. No, she's awesome. She's just. Have you read any of the Free Britney stuff?
Sorry, I don't mean cool. Sorry, I mean cool, and she used to be cool-tempered, is what I meant there. I thought was with me on that.
She is now, but she is pretty much. If you believe all the Free Britney stuff, she is pretty much a prisoner to her dad. Like read it, and by all accounts, it's meant to be true. I don't know how true it is, but
that's a great phrase.
Yeah.
Well, it's meant to be true, so probably is.
Russ, you asked Shah about Free Britney. I've had a conversation with her about this. So,
it does. Like, there is some pretty weird stuff floating around out there.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so Britney, Free Britney. Right, where to next, guys?
Do the square root of 6 from the left.
Okay, cool. We'll do a couple together here. I'm just making it up as I go along. Cyberpunk 2077 developer facing second class action lawsuits. This is comicbook.com. Last month's release of Cyberpunk 2077 has caused a lot of problems for CD Projekt Red, including a $1 billion loss for the company's founders. Now it seems the game is also the basis for second class action lawsuits against the developer. According to regulatory announcement from CD Projekt Red, the lawsuit was filed in the United States District Court for the Central District of California. In the announcement, CD Projekt Red states that the quantity of damages has not been specified for the lawsuit, and the company will undertake vigorous action to defend itself against such claims.
So I mean, this just sounds like people being opportunistic, really, doesn't it?
It does, but at the same time, so
you can get a refund on it, can't you? So, is it really damaged you that much that you need to sue them? Also, with a class action lawsuit, you can basically just go, "Oh yeah, I've been mentally damaged by it," and sign your name on a bit of paper, and that's all you have to do. So it's very, no risk.
I mean, they're clearly in the wrong on this. There's no denying that. They said this game worked, and it didn't, and that is a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I just cannot believe that anyone who bought it has been so traumatized by it that they need damages. I've shelved it until it gets the next gen update. So I've just got it sitting there until it gets that. And exactly. Either get a refund or wait until they fix it.
Yeah,
I'm actually playing it at the moment. On PC. It's one of those games that definitely feels like it could have done with another 12 months in the oven.
Yeah.
Well, I did see somewhere saying that they originally weren't expecting to release it until 2022.
Yeah, something like that.
Should we? Let's continue with the Cyberpunk bashing, shall we? Because there is a fair bit this week.
Should probably start there. I've in no way played this game at all, and have very little idea what I'm talking about.
A lot of the criticism I can tell you is fully justified.
And you're playing the version that's meant to be the best version as well.
The version
PC is the stable good version, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And I have. I've experienced everything. One of my favourites ever. Whipped out his mobile phone and was talking to someone on the mobile phone. Then I noticed to the left of me that the mobile phone he was using had spawned just next to where I was standing. He was holding his phone, but his phone had spawned next to me. I turned around again, and there were two phones next to me. And he was still holding his phone. And as I walked back into the lift, these two phones were just hovering in the air. As I sort of backed away into the lift, I was just looking. I turned around, and as the doors of the elevator shut, I could just see these two phones, like sort of looking at me. And it's just I never saw those phones again. But they were just hovering there.
Sad story. It's got a sad ending. That story.
What you don't know is that actually those two phones are a bonus quest about finding the third phone.
Yeah, exactly. And I fucked it.
Judging by the statement that CD Projekt Red released, that might be something they'd claim is true. So they released a statement, which is basically them apologizing, and it's not quite as sorry that you're not enjoying it, but it kind of is. They said that they genuinely didn't think there was any problems. So I'll read one of the paragraph from it. I and the entire team are deeply sorry for this, and this video is me publicly owning up to that, Owinski said. A statement that precedes a bunch of excuses for what happened, including casually placing blame on the QI department by saying that they hadn't discovered these issues and old consoles as if the game wasn't announced before the PS4 even came out. Please don't fault any of our team for what happened, says the man who goes on to fault his team in a roundabout way. Myself and the board are the final decision makers, he says, and it appears he might actually be taking accountability here. We are the ones who made the decision to release the game. Owinski's ownership here is immediately overshadowed by the next few minutes. Now I'd like to tell you how the situation looked from the inside. And he goes on to basically blame the QI department for not bringing up apparently not bring up issues that it didn't run pretty much at all on old gen consoles. This is not taking accountability. Yeah. Get a grip here. You're not selling it on the biggest selling console in the world, or well, you're not selling it on Switch, but you know what I mean. You're not selling it on PlayStation. You need to do some serious damage limitation here. And they are doing such a bad job of it.
The rumor mill, or at least the sort of, the rumors generally are either complete bullshit or are generated from people who actually know what's going on. Bullshit. But these ones, I feel that the sort of word on the street is that the quality assurance team, when they were going through a lot of this stuff, were told to focus their energies on the PC and to do critical top-line analysis of whether the last-gen consoles would be capable of running it, to which apparently a lot of their comments and bug flags and all that kind of stuff, their real red flag sort of moments, were ignored completely. Yeah. Because they could get it to run on PC.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they get to run on PC, and that was the important thing. So the next part of this is that the tour they went on, taking the demo of the game, people are now saying, so that wasn't actually the game, was it? That was just this setup demo. Even though there's a guy on there with holding a controller to make it look like it was working. So that's CD Projekt Red kind of...
That's they not said that unheard, especially if you're doing like a live demo at an event or something. The risk of things going wrong is so high that it would not be that uncommon for them to just use a pre-rendered video. But if they're talking about actually like inviting people around to look at it, then that's ridiculous.
But that's fine. But then they're not selling it as that. They're selling it as, right, we're going to play a level of this game right now. Yeah. And that's what it was sold as. And it wasn't a level of the game. It was just something separate they worked on that wasn't buggy, that they could just go through the motions to make it look like it worked.
So I don't think any of us are saying that any of this was a good idea or that it couldn't have done with another 6 to 18 months in development. But I still don't think anyone who bought it needs to sue them.
No, I agree with that. I
agree with that. Like this is not going to be causing irreparable damage to anyone. As Tom has always said, you could always just play Deus Ex anyway, because they did it first.
You could, and to be honest, it has made me go back to the what was the new one called? Not Mankind Divided, the other one, Human Revolution.
Human Revolution, yeah.
Human Revolution again in my downtime, because it's much more stable and a much better Cyberpunk game at the moment than Cyberpunk 2077.
So then let's add on to the fact that there's been a multiplayer leak, which looks like it's going to be stuffed full of microtransactions.
Yeah, also, are we not past that by now?
Yeah. Also, the video, which I watched this video from the guy who has a very thick foreign accent, and at times it is a European accent. It's very, very difficult to understand what he says. But he shows this fantastic timeline of when DLC and further hotfixes are coming. And it's basically launch date, hotfixes in the next... And then at the end of the line, it says 2022. There's no other dates or any other lines or anything like that between now and 2022. It's just this kind of...
At some point in the plan, what they should have done is taken that thing saying launch date, picked it up and moved it to after everything is fixed, then launch the game. So, lesson learned for next time, maybe.
Do you know what they always say? Like, if you're building a website, you don't put a date on that website. What happens is you build that website, then you put it into testing, and depending on the first round of testing and what it flags up, that's when you put a date on it. Whereas what happens nowadays, and what happened with Cyberpunk 2077, was eventually you get to the point where the days of these various deadlines that you haven't been hitting because the testing phase has shown that it's not going to hit it, eventually your shareholders start to get a bit twitchy and a bit nervous, and you cave to pressure. And that's basically what happened. And so what I feel happened in that video that you're talking about, Dan, is effectively it's a sorry not sorry, but also a massive throw under the bus of
the hardest working department,
who were probably flagging everything up, going, this ain't working, this ain't working, this ain't working.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Is what it is. Bullshit.
It is bullshit. Bullshit.
What else was I going to say? There's something else I was going to say about it. Yeah, it's It's I don't know. I'm not mad at them. I'm just disappointed. Where am I going to go to next? That wasn't what I was going to say, but I completely lost my thought.
Second from the left.
Second from the left. Okay, Duncan. Star Wars. Finn from Star Wars has been trending on social media as people are beginning to realize that he had a really small part in the films, and it was clearly played up to be like one of the main characters in those films. Yeah. And I don't think they're wrong. Yeah, like, he's the first person you see in the first trailer for the new trilogy.
He has a decent role in the first one, but in the second one, clearly, they just had no story for him. He doesn't do anything in the second one, does he? He's got the ridiculous Canto Bite bit, which could easily be removed.
Yep.
And the sort of the hacky slicey thing. He spends the first act of the movie asleep. They just didn't really have anywhere for him to slot in, did they?
And in the third film, he basically just runs around going, "We should really try and catch up with Rey."
Yeah. You forgot about Rey.
Rey, I trust Rey.
There's the ridiculous stuff in the third one about him happening to find that other bunch of stormtroopers, and then them completely failing to do the interesting arc for him of having the reason those stormtroopers rebelled be because they were inspired by him. Rather, instead of there's just some weird winking that might have been the Force, but probably not, and that's it.
I still remember those initial trailers for Force Awakens where I saw him holding the lightsaber, and I was like, "Holy shit, cool!" So he's the Jedi.
He's great. So, not talking about John Boyega here. He's great, full stop. But Finn is great in the first one.
He's brilliant.
But just sort of gets benched in the second one, and in the third one, he's running around trying to serve the plot of that dog shit movie.
But we know that's because J.J. Abrams doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, we know that's the case. Like, imagine if you'd given it to.
So why has this been trending on Twitter? I thought we'd known this all for months.
It's obviously someone's brought it up. I would imagine it was on a podcast or a YouTube video or something, and then people have started talking about it.
Who listens to idiots like that?
Anyway, so it's.
Hey, Dan, were you doing a James Silent Bob Strike Back moment there?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
So was I. Just
I know. I was super impressed with that. I was give ourselves a pat on the back for that. Yeah. Star Wars might have. Star Wars. Might have
Solar Sailor.
Solar Sailor.
Solar Sailor.
We're so easily distracted. Star Wars might have a slight minority problem, like particularly in the latest three.
Yeah.
So, for starters, very rarely do minority characters get treated with any respect, like in terms of story arc. Also, let's talk about the fact that the first black lady we see is Lando's daughter. It was strongly hinted at being Lando's
We have
daughter.
already talked about this, haven't we?
Yeah.
They did the really bold thing by not having Finn be Lando's son.
Yeah.
But 3 black people, at least 2 of them are going to be related, surely, and the other one has to be a potential love interest for the other one. So we'll keep them all together in their little bits, and then the rest of us can go and play with lightsabers.
It's a bit strange though, isn't it? That vision of a lot of stormtroopers being black. It raises some very painful visions in my head, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It's a very strange one. It's one of very many missteps I think that third film makes.
Yeah. We've got a whole pod on it, guys. So if you want to listen to that, go back, listen to it. It is one of our finest pods, I think. We are on
bitching and moaning about that film for 2 hours. Yeah.
We fucking hate that film. Anyway, where to next, guys?
Fifth from right. Fifth from right.
Fifth from the right. It'll be all right. That's rhyming right with right, Dan. Stupid Dan. Okay. Here we go. One of the main news articles. So congratulations, Tom. You found the bonus prize. Lucasfilm Games are taking back games from EA. They are going to be releasing games, spreading them out to a variety of different publishers and developers. That's the word I was looking for. which is good news because EA did a terrible job of it generally. They released a couple of good games.
EA had exclusives on everything Lucasfilm.
At least the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, they definitely had Star Wars, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So now Lucasfilm have taken it back. They'll be going to like Ubisoft, like they have, and we're now going to get
a big open world Star Wars adventure where you can run around collecting 50,000 different things.
I mean, to be honest,
Ubisoft makers.
I'll take that. I'll have that.
Ubisoft makers of the finest.
I'll have a nice big.
Of finest online ordnance survey maps ever.
I did a joke.
I did, and you fucking ruined it, you bunch of fucking amateurs.
Hey! It's the delay on the internet is causing problems because when I started talking, it was quiet, and then you started pulling that angry face that you're pulling right now.
I think that the EA Star Wars games, they've not been abysmal. Battlefront 2 is pretty good. Battlefront 2 is pretty good. Once they, they've not been unmarred by controversy, but once they stripped all the
marred by the controversy,
microtransaction loot box nonsense out of it, Battlefront 2 is pretty good. And
if the last game you played was a washing balls simulator.
I mean, let's be honest. They cancelled more games than they made.
That's the What was that one that sounded really good, like 1337 or something?
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Something. It was going to be like a more of an RPG type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it sounded awesome.
Fallen Order's good, but I mean, they made Battlefront 2, Fallen Order, and Squadrons, which is based on the flying parts of Battlefront 2. They didn't do a whole lot with the franchise, did they?
No.
Does anyone else find Squadrons quite difficult to control?
Nah, I'm good, man. I've played quite a lot about that.
I have to map the role.
You bitches playing Squadrons?
Yeah, a little bit. But I have to map
let's
role
fucking squad
to
up. Come on, let's do it.
Your control on the joystick and your to what should be role. I don't know why. And like I'm, in a flight sim, I'd never ever do that. But for some reason in Squadrons, maybe it's because there's no horizon to refer to all the time. But yeah, so like if I push the joystick left, what that should do is make your craft roll, but I have it set to your.
Yeah, see, I do exactly the same. So I pull back and I go up. I push, and it's
of course you do that because you're not a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't invert.
Anyone who doesn't invert in a fucking flight simulator. Christ almighty.
You know what? I honestly don't know whether I do or not. I haven't thought about it.
If you're ever on a plane and the captain gets food poisoning and they say, does anyone reckon they got a chance at sticking this thing on the ground? You shut the fuck up.
I've got a chance of sticking in the sky.
No, don't invert.
Guys, why aren't we playing Squadrons together?
Because
I've got 7 minutes of free time every month.
Okay, well, in that 7 minutes, it'd be nice if you spent a little time with me, Russ. God, you only do this at D&D. Fucking nothing, really. Unbelievable.
I've had Squadrons for a month.
I did play a little bit of. I finally got around to firing up Tony Hawk's. It's amazing. Did I mention this last week?
It's great, isn't it?
I don't care. I'm going to say it again. It's incredible. Like you can start
on PC.
Yeah, but you can. Last time I played that game was on the Dreamcast, but it's exactly the same. You know exactly what to do. The rhythms of it are amazing, and just all the design and stuff. It's so like grungy 90s skateware stuff. The UI doesn't look like anything else you'd see anywhere else. It's brilliant. Love it.
So, with Lucasfilm, and now taking the rights back to the games and handing them out to a variety of different developers, is there anything anyone would want to see?
Is it just
being
Star Wars
made?
Games? Is it just Star
Wars?
Wars?
No, because we'll get to the next story in a second.
So you're talking like, is there a Star Wars game that you want us that we want to see?
Yeah.
So I know it's not. I know it's not new IP, but I really want a new pod racing game, not a re-release. Properly a properly redone pod racing game. That was so much fun.
Does that have VR written all over it, or what?
I think your brain would come out of your anus if you tried to play that in VR. Also, no, I don't want it to be VR because I don't have a VR headset and I don't want to go and spend £700 on one. So no, do it normal.
I would like.
Yeah.
I haven't played Fallen Order, so I don't know if you get to, after talking about them last week, the speeder bikes. I would just like a game where you ride the speeder bikes as well.
You can do that in Battlefront, can't you?
Yeah, they're absolutely impossible. You can also do it in Jedi Academy. There's that level on Tatooine where you can ride a speeder bike.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Good knowledge there, Russ.
That's a game that doesn't convert nicely to Switch.
I think that might not actually be Tatooine.
No, it's not.
It's certainly not the first Tatooine level.
It's nigh impossible.
It's that one where basically you're almost like a knight on horseback with your lightsaber.
You're like chasing some bandits or something, aren't you?
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, while we're on Jedi Academy games, actually, when I said another Jedi Knight game, I'm not talking about that. What I want is another Kyle Katarn game. Because I miss Kyle Katarn a lot.
Yeah.
I want Kyle Katarn as like an old man, and like he can't really shoot anymore. So you literally just use the lightsaber and powers, which is all anyone did anyway, apart from the one annoying level where you get a sniper rifle out.
That's
like an old school Assassin's Creed game, though, where like you are just walking through the city trying to avoid stormtroopers most of the time, trying to complete your mission, and then when you have to throw down, the lightsaber comes out and you have to like fight things off. That'd be cool. That's might be what Ubisoft are doing.
I love the pshum noise of a lightsaber.
There's I can't remember if it's Jedi Knight or Academy, but there's a level where you're in the rain and you get this little tss, 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 as
Jedi Academy.
Drops of rain hit your lightsaber blade. Such a cool.
Yeah, that's the training. It's the training mission, and also when you're on, you go to Corellia in the first batch of levels when you're on that speeding train that's out of control. That's pretty.
So you go to Corellia. That level is just some clouds and like one model of a building that just shoots past every 5 seconds.
Whizzing past.
I wouldn't mind if they actually did just redo Dark Forces.
Yeah, I feel we're showing our age here by just going, can they just redo some stuff that I used to do when I was a kid? Is there anything actually new we'd like to see? So we've had a remake of Dark Forces, a remake of Pod Racer, and basically just something with Kyle Katarn in it because we think he's great.
Yeah, Kyle Katarn is basically Chuck Norris of the Star Wars world. Just to make.
I mean, I know there was the Knights of the Old Republic and stuff, but there were more to some of the comics that involved the Old Republic, and it would be nice to set something there, though that would be more Jedi stuff. So, I don't know, like maybe a Cassian Andor kind. I know there's going to be the TV series, but something similar to a Cassian Andor spy kind of thriller.
Yeah, something sort of stealthy, spy-y. I mean, obviously you could do a
Assassin's Creed style again, though. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, and you could have one game which is you as Kyle Katarn and one as. I
was about to say, how do you like it? But instead of Cassian Andor, you're Kyle Katarn.
well, you know, you've got a whole series set up.
This is like Star Wars fanfic 101. It's like that bit with Cassian, except it's not him, it's Kyle Katarn because he's even cooler, and then he does an amazing thing. And it turns out they're the same person. And he's best mates with Luke Skywalker and they're friends.
I'd like someone.
Not being funny, but they fucking did that in Mandalorian. Okay.
I'd like someone to give an odd try at creating a really good Star Wars real-time strategy game. Would be really awesome. Maybe using Dawn of War, 4K Dawn of War approach.
There you go. I mean, why not do Total War Star Wars now?
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely could do.
Yeah.
So like
that's one of the things
but from 5,000 feet up, and you're controlling the whole thing at once.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, you've just successfully described a real-time strategy game. Well done. So it's I'll shut up. Sorry, I'm being a dick tonight. Sorry.
You are.
Mr. Snippy.
Sorry. I won't.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
I'm the only one with good ideas. You lot, shut up.
No, it's just rare that I have good ideas. So when I have them,
Dan, what's that?
Hang on. Oh, sorry, Dan. I've just crushed the small violin I was about to pick up and play.
Anyway, moving on slightly. Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Bethesda do an Indiana Jones game.
Hooray! Segue.
Yeah, well, even better than that. I'd like to see Machine Games, makers of the finest Let's Kill Nazis games, are making an Indiana Jones game, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, although I suspect this won't be Indiana Jones wielding a machine gun in each hand, blowing away thousands of Nazis.
I'm for it. That's all I'll say.
Is it going to be a geriatric Harrison Ford trying to do Tomb Raider?
I deleted something so horrible. I don't know whether I can. Harrison Ford flight sim? Just.
So, I mean, we've seen absolutely nothing of this so far, apart from a sort of very vague teasery teaser. But it gives off Tomb Raider vibes with all the map and the investigation stuff. It looks like some of it's set in the Vatican. So,
is that kind of game, is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. Could be a Tetris claim for all I know.
So, I mean, I'm fine with that as well.
Every time you make a line, the bullwhip just takes that line away.
Isn't it amazing it's taken this long for someone to go, okay, so we can't just redo Tomb Raider or Uncharted for our franchise. What should we do? I don't know. What is there? Was there something that was kind of like Tomb Raider and Uncharted in movies before they were games? Nothing springs to mind. Like finally someone's gone, let's just do an Indiana Jones game.
National Treasure. That was what inspired.
There you go.
That was what inspired.
Yes, although it would take quite a while to model accurately Nicolas Cage's hair in the second film. That would be a while to get.
It took him quite a while to model it as well. So yeah.
I mean, seriously, that guy went overboard on the hair dye in that second film. I mean, that was proper syrupy figs going on there. That was
syrupy.
That looked just wrong. You know, it's like it was like the same nut brown that Paul McCartney's totally real hair is. You know, it's like not exactly a brown you've ever seen. That's too brown, if you know what I mean. It's just too brown.
And there's no tonality to it. It's just a perfectly uniform shade all the way around.
Yeah. £2.50. Got it from the covered market. £2.50 a bottle.
No, it's that hairspray we used to use.
Yeah, that comes off on the pillow. Yeah.
That hairspray we used to use? What the fuck are you talking about?
When we used to dye our hair, we were using that really cheap £1 hairspray.
Oh, well, like that.
Yeah, at school.
That's not really dyeing your hair. That was literally just painting your hair, wasn't it? With very low quality
Some really toxic fumes.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that hair dye? Stuff. Down the garage. You get it next to the charcoal briquettes.
So the two questions that come up in everything I've seen about this is what kind of game is it going to be? We're assuming it's going to be like an action adventure third-person game. I would imagine it would probably be that. Like action adventure doesn't lend itself very well to first person unless you're going full Mirror's Edge with it. Then the other thing is it going to be an Xbox exclusive? Like it's Bethesda are owned by Xbox now.
So just because they're owned by Xbox doesn't mean that everything they do will be an Xbox exclusive necessarily, does it?
Yeah.
Because, Microsoft are not averse to making more money. So they will tactically decide what's going to be an Xbox exclusive. Because you're taking if you own the studios, by making it exclusive, you are taking a bit of a hit because you're limiting the audience for your own game. So it'll be done for marketing purposes as and when is needed, not for everything they ever produce.
I mean, Microsoft actually said from the beginning of this that they're not going to limit platforms purely because, like you said,
they own everything.
Like they're owning everything now.
They'll say it's because we're such nice people, but like,
they've not said it.
Why
would
you go? We're just not going to sell this game to a good 2/3 of the people that might want to buy it. No way.
Yeah, but then if they're in the console selling market, and that's something that will sell a console.
Yeah, it's like I say, they will tactically
or even that
one or two.
Because they've not said one way or another whether it's going to be in future Bethesda games are going to be exclusive or not.
Yeah, they need a few big exclusives, sort of fairly like when production ramps up on the consoles and anyone can actually fucking buy one, then they're going to need an exclusive or two to drop, because there's nothing that exciting out there at the moment to make.
The thought is that Starfield might become an Xbox exclusive. So Xbox /PC /Game Pass, whatever you can play Game Pass.
Nothing will be an Xbox exclusive, will it? It'll be Xbox in the sense of Game Pass, but it won't be literally just on the consoles.
Can I just say I have a much broader love of Game Pass, even that I had before. Now I have a decent PC that's capable of playing some of these games on my Game Pass account on my PC. Fucking amazing, man!
You've got a PC now.
I built a game PC. Considering the amount of I know. I'm one of them now. I am a member of the PC gaming.
We outnumber you now, bitch.
Played Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal at 60 FPS today. It was fucking fantastic. For nothing. I didn't have to buy it. It was on Game Pass.
Exactly. That's Bethesda being owned by Microsoft. That's the joy that will bring you. Give me where to next, guys?
Dealer's choice.
Okay, let's do this one. GTA 6 rumor claims it may feature a female protagonist. This is a fairly strong rumor, apparently, that one of the protagonists will be female. And guess what? The man children, they're not happy about it.
Oh, grow up.
So I take issue with any... Like, you would not see on the 6 o'clock news them saying, well, there's a rumor that this might happen, so we're going to tell you about it. Like, I mean, of course there's a rumor that a protagonist might be a woman. People have been saying that for literally 15 years now.
Yeah. Well, it's from a leaker that has leaked a ton of credible stuff before.
I mean, if your profession is leaker, then come on.
Okay.
It's like,
so that's the point of the story. You're just having a bad moan, aren't you? So let's just.
This isn't news. This is speculation, but it's interesting speculation. I mean, it feels like
it doesn't go off the tongue, does it?
They should do something interesting with the protagonists.
So yeah, it would make sense if at least. It would make sense if at least one of the main playable characters in the next GTA game was a woman. Yeah. Because
so this is assuming. I mean,
none of the others have been.
Everything I've seen so far talking about it is kind of assuming that it's going to be the same sort of multiple character model as the last one, but it might be something completely different. Nobody was really expecting that until we knew it was happening.
Yeah.
So it could be something completely different. I mean, look at Watch Dogs Cockney London. You don't have a main protagonist.
Yeah, and it's shit. But I'm not.
I don't think a GTA game would ever work that way. That wouldn't work for GTA. No. But you know, it could be something completely different. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it makes sense if there's a woman involved.
So, say it is just one character and it is a woman. Who gives a shit? Like, that's fine. That's good. Because
say it's 5 characters and they're all women. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
What
exactly?
If you do, I don't really want to talk about the people who do give a shit, because those people are idiots.
Well, we are going to briefly talk about that, Russ, because they're the same idiots that kick up when you get a game and it gives you the choice of being a man or a woman. They're now saying that, oh, come on, why can't we have a choice? If like the lead's going to be a female, why can't I have a choice to be a man? It's like, you didn't like that before, did you? So, like, I've always liked playing Tomb Raider. That's my personal favorite game, you know, because otherwise I just can't get into it. I can't imagine being a woman when I'm playing these games. It gives a shit. It's just a fucking game. Like, you play as the main character and you immerse yourself in it, whether it's a male or a female. It doesn't matter. You're immersing yourself in their experience.
I always liked Deus Ex Invisible War, the second Deus Ex game, because Alex Denton, or Alex D, as your main character is, who's meant to be the third Denton sibling, is not identifiable in the first game as a male or a female. So they were just like, fuck it, let's let people do what they want. Yeah. And I always played Alex D as a female because I always thought that made more sense to me, because the other two were brothers, because one was a direct clone of the other. The other was just made from genetic material from the both of them. So I was like, female. Why wouldn't it be a female agent?
Yeah. Like I'm all for a foul-mouthed woman leading a GTA game. That sounds amazing. Fine, bring it.
Yeah, I mean,
but there we go.
If you think about GTA 5, there are barely any even female characters in it.
It's all very Lord of the Rings.
And apart from that, there's barely any women in it.
Yeah, and Tracy and Amanda are kind of they're very typical. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the characters in it are fairly caricatured.
Yeah, but, even all the main characters are as well. To be fair, but
yeah, there's pretty much no women in the entire game.
Nope.
Give me where am I going next, guys?
At the end.
Go for the top one.
The top one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look at them very closely, one of them will be slightly higher than the other. Go for that one.
Okay. Liam Neeson and Seth MacFarlane have talked about a Naked Gun reboot.
I mean,
I don't hate that.
I'm sort of interested, but also like, well, you can't do it as well as the original. So
no, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, I quite like the idea of Liam Neeson because Leslie Nielsen was always a serious actor before Airplane, right?
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of Liam Neeson's final act, like in his acting career, becoming like a comedy actor. Like he's kind of dabbled before.
He can do
funny. Yeah.
But I mean, I just like The Naked Gun is basically perfect. So.
Yeah.
Will Liam Neeson ever be as funny as his momentary appearance in Life is Short when he's Liam Neeson trying to be an improvisational comedy genius with Steve Merchant and Ricky Gervais? Just,
Yeah,
I always make lists. That's actually why Steven Spielberg cast me in Schindler's List. And Ricky Gervais laughs. It's like, why are you laughing? I was like, I thought it was a joke.
He's done comedy a few times and he's very funny. Like he's in that. I mean, it's a terrible Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, which actually
he's quite good in it. Yeah.
He is funny in it, and to be fair though, the only funny scene in that film is when they're at the shooting gallery and they bet $1, and everyone in the crowd goes, $1? I've never even seen $1. Show me the dollar. And everyone gasps. Take your head off, boy. There's $1.
So yeah, there's that. There is, as we've mentioned, Life is Short. There's Taken 3. All those comedies are just like proof that he can do funny. Yeah.
He pops up in Rev, doesn't he, as ? Jesus.
Yeah.
Just who would they get to do Nordberg though? Like,
O.J. Simpson.
Or could you get Michael Barrymore? Because he's another person who's been cleared for.
Fucking hell. Oh man.
You don't want to remake or reboot movies that are that good. You should remake or reboot things that were a bit shit but had the kernel of a good idea in them.
Warriors. Do another fucking Warriors film. It's brilliant. Get Slipknot as one of the gangs. There we go. Solved that.
Dan's apparently making movies in the mid to late 90s.
There you go, yeah. Like, don't touch Naked Gun or Airplane. That's a no-brainer.
Do it like, do it, but have it completely different.
Don't call it Naked Gun.
I mean, sure, don't, whatever, but like, don't recreate it. Don't do the same plot or any of the same gags as the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
How do you top? Like a blind man at an orgy, I was going to have to feel my way in. How the hell do you ever top jokes like that?
Such stupid stuff, like when they're trying to get through the door, so he just sort of steps around the wall of the set.
Yeah.
You can't. How do you even write that? That has to be something that they came up with sort of there and then. It's sublime. It's amazing.
Where am I going to next, guys?
Dead Middle.
Dead Middle. We are getting an Oxenfree TV series.
Ooh.
Which I'm for. That is a weird as fuck game, and I like the idea of a TV series being all weird and that.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you when I played it? You appeared in my game. Like you were there. Like you're
awesome. Yeah.
So whatever. Yeah, it was very strange when you're taking all the pictures of the ghosts.
Yeah.
Or unintentionally. I mean, phenomenal. Really, like such a mindfuck story. But like,
yeah,
I'm a big Twin Peaks fan. I do like mindfuck. So if they want to make something weird out of this, I'm for it.
One of the things I said, but there was you can turn any video game into a film, what would you turn into a film, and who would you get to direct it? And my answer was Oxenfree, and I'd get Moorhead and Benson, who I've already mentioned for Moon Knight, who directed The Endless, one of my favorite films of the last 5 years. Really, really good. And he replied. He said, "I've literally just finished playing Oxenfree, and that would be amazing." So I'm like, now we're getting an Oxenfree TV series. Get these fuckers in there. Let's get it done.
And go.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Russ, I've done it. Boom, flip it, sorted. Stealing that from Ben Kissel as well. Right, where to next?
Wherever your mouse is, go directly up until you hit a tab.
Until I hit a tab, I can't because my mouse was already on a tab.
Click on that one then.
Marvel's Kevin Feige explains why WandaVision couldn't be the next MCU movie.
Well, of course it couldn't.
No, they had too much to do, basically, is the long and short of it. It could only be done in a however many part TV series, 10-part TV series.
And it's so about TV and the history of the American sitcom. You can do that as a fucking movie, you fucking idiots. What idiot said that?
I don't know.
I'm going to go around and talk
I don't think... Yeah.
Who asked the question? I mean, it works so well. It is better as a TV because it is set to the scale of people's TVs rather than people's TVs are not the size of a cinema screen, and we can't go to cinemas anyway. So
it's
I don't think that's the reason
the
it wouldn't
format
work,
and the
though.
medium of television. It's a TV show about TV shows.
But that's not a reason it wouldn't work as a film.
Yes, it fucking is.
A reason? No, it's fucking not. Of course it's not. We got fucking Pleasantville. Look at Truman Show. They're all
nonsense.
Truman Show's awesome. So you shut your fucking mouth.
I didn't say it wasn't, but that's different. That is cinematic in its scope and everything it does. Whereas the WandaVision is like, it's almost like an analysis of sort of American sitcoms through the decades.
And you
as
wouldn't
well as
get
being
the
this
cunning
sort of fantasy story. I think it would just be bullshit to make it as a film. Next.
Yeah. I'm not saying it. I'm on your side, Russ.
I've decided that you wanted WandaVision to be a film now. And now...
No, I'm just going to add that to the Wikipedia page. Dan wanted...
I'm absolutely in love with WandaVision. And I think the main reason it wouldn't work as a film is that they're trying to tell too much. You can't... It's such a slow pace that this series has that you can't do that in a film. Yeah. Like, the best thing is we are discovering what's happening at a reasonable pace where we're not getting completely bamboozled by everything, and it gives us a chance to look at things and see that things are a little bit strange every now and then.
In the first two episodes, basically nothing's happened.
Yeah,
really,
except for a couple of moments. Like you could listen to the WandaVision podcast that we recorded last night. Me, Terry, and Steve. Which we're going to record weekly.
There's loads of little clues and Easter eggs in there for people who are in the know already. But if you're someone who doesn't know tons about the associated comics and things, you should probably not go looking stuff up, because it might kind of spoil things or set expectations that aren't actually going to happen. Because they're obviously not just going to one-to-one recreate what happened in the comics, but there will be inspiration and elements taken and mixed together in the way that they do. So if you don't know all the stuff around House of M and all that kind of thing, you probably shouldn't go and read too much into it, because then you'll be like looking out for stuff to happen.
I will never tell people to not read House of M.
No, that's not what I said. What you shouldn't do is go and like look at a Wikipedia summary of everything, because then you're like, oh, okay, so I'm looking for that, and I'm looking for that, and that probably means that, and that probably means that, and I think it'll take away a lot of the satisfaction.
Well, the best thing about it is that it's so ambiguous at the moment, and that's another reason why it wouldn't work as a film, because it would be very set in stone how things would be heading, because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. There's certain things that I think are probably the case, and we discussed this on the podcast last night, but there's also a lot of stuff that's really up in the air. And I'm very much looking forward to just letting it unfold naturally as the series goes on. I'm really enjoying it. The first two episodes are excellent.
It's very cool. Also, Paul Bettany is an absolute joy, and it was wonderful seeing him channeling... do you remember him as Chaucer in First Night?
Yes, I mentioned that last night. Yeah,
really, really gave me flashbacks to that, which is a cracking movie.
It is hilarious.
Have you seen the Lady Note the Brave video essay on it?
I have, yes. It's very good.
It's very, very good. But, she's just done one on Haunting of Bly Manor as well. But yeah, it's clear that they're having a whale of a time, both of them, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany. So yeah, well worth a watch if you haven't watched it. I'm just going to keep going now. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a 4-hour movie and not a miniseries, says director. So like someone suggested you could do it as a miniseries, and he's gone, oh no, this is a film.
A 4-hour Zack
This
Snyder
is a
movie.
masterpiece. Yeah. I mean, we had
Jesus
Endgame, which was a long film, and this is longer than that.
Jesus Christ, who would want to watch that?
Hopefully, there's a really good boring bit where I can go for a wee.
I'm going to watch it because I feel like I want to just at least experience it once, simply so I can slag it off.
So what?
Like,
I can't even remember what.
Dan the Lich
What
King.
film is this? The Snyder cut of
Justice League.
Justice League. So I haven't actually seen Justice League yet because.
Well, hold
I'm not an
fire
idiot.
and watch the 4-hour version. Clearly, that's the way to watch it.
Because I've got
That's
more
the
models to bash.
Oh God! I mean, I can't imagine this is going to be any good. In news that I didn't write down, Jared Leto came out talking about how much he loves Zack Snyder as a director, and those two are match made in heaven. Those two can fuck off and make films together for the rest of their lives, as far as I'm concerned. Feel free. Not remotely
They should
interested.
start a band as well.
Oh God, he's probably played guitar on one 30 Seconds to Mars album somewhere. The dickhead. Right, Cyberpunk 2077. We've already talked about that. Tom Cruise did not purchase. I've only read the headlines. Tom Cruise did not purchase COVID-19 robots to continue filming Mission Impossible 7.
Yeah, I did see something about this, and the immediate question that leads to mind is, what the fuck is a COVID-19 social distancing robot? I don't think they're a thing that exists, which is probably why Tom Cruise hasn't bought any of them.
So this is on comicbook.com. Tom Cruise actually didn't purchase any robots to enforce COVID-19 protocols while filming Mission Impossible 7. The star uncorked the mother of all rants when some of the staff in the film were accused of not adhering to the rules. Mission Impossible 7's troubles with the talk of the industry around Christmas. However, a recent report from The Sun said that Cruise had taken matters into his own hands. The idea of a couple of autonomous bots patrolling is terrifying, but it's not true.
It's not remotely possible. We don't have the technology.
It wasn't true.
Unless they're just really well controlled Roombas.
Yeah.
Tucking your feet.
I do love that, like, his sort of Christian Bale style rant was about health and safety legislation. It's so, like,
everything he said
superstar.
in the rant, I agreed with. You just can't shout at people like that because it's not nice.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's a very strange story.
it really is. It's slightly, a little too strange. PlayStation and Xbox are both reportedly looking into new studio acquisitions. This is one of those news that I'm just going to immediately flick through, isn't it?
We sort of just assume that Xbox are buying studios all the time anyway.
That's kind of it, isn't it? Yeah. Xbox has listed all known console exclusive for 2021. So we have Adios, The Artful Escape, which looks awesome. The Ascent, The Big Con, Crossfire X, which does look good as well. Dead Static Drive, Echo Generation, Exo Mecha, Exo 1, The Gunk, which looks good. Halo Infinite, which will hopefully look better. The Last Stop, Lake, Last Witch in the Woods, The Medium, which comes out next week. Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to Xbox Series X, Psychonauts 2, RPG Time, Sable, Scorn, She Dreams Elsewhere, Shredders, Song of Iron, Tunic, which is the Zelda clone, where you play a little fox, which looks fun, 12 Minutes, which looks awesome, Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy, Warhammer 40k Darktide, which is the one I'm really excited about.
That does look cool.
Yeah, Way to the Woods, The Wild at Heart, Yakuza Remastered Collection, and apparently there is more to be announced. I think Stalker's coming out as well this year as well. But
Stalker 2, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that might not be a Xbox exclusive. So.
Yeah, the 40k does look good. I was a little bit disappointed that the 40k one wasn't just a full-blown Necromunda game.
But there is a full Necromunda game though.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I'll send you the.
It's not.
It looks awesome.
But it's more like it's not sort of a full-on FPS type thing, is it?
No, it's a turn-based. It's basically Necromunda on your computer.
It's like a simulation of playing Necromunda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan, you said my name.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tom, jazz. Is it nice?
Absolutely. When I'm trying to unwind after a busy day, I like to stick
Welcome to Jazz Club.
Sadly, Jazz Club done
Nice.
We are getting DC have come out and said that their two main Batmans now are
It's Batsmen.
are Robert Pattinson and Michael Keaton is making a return as Bruce Wayne.
So it's not helping
Batman,
with the sort of the perception of the DC stuff being all sort of mishmashed and all over the place that they're having to use a frame like our two main Batmen.
Yeah,
it's not.
And he's not the current one that
things.
we're about to see in the next film that's coming out, which is the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
because that's a different Batman as well. So yeah, several Batmans. It looks like are going to be in proceedings.
Batman, and don't forget to keep on voting for our World Cup of TV themes. Yay!
Oh, beautifully done, Duncan. I love it. New games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Coming to the cloud is Outer Wilds, a favourite of Tom's. Coming to cloud console PC is Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5. And I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, and it is weird, but it is also really good fun.
Yeah, I never got into the Yakuza games, so I've seen quite a lot about them, and they are strange.
Good fun, though. Really good fun.
Yeah, they look amazing, but they're also deeply weird.
Coming to cloud console PC, Desperados 3. Also, Donut County, which is I've heard things about, which is meant to be
Donut
good.
I played that on the iPad. It's brilliant.
I've heard about it from you. That's where I've heard it. So yeah,
I mean it's a very small, little, simple game, but it's really good fun.
Coming to cloud console PC, Cyber Shadow, Noun and Gremlin. And then we have Medium, which is a brand new game, which is the first Xbox Series X exclusive, but it's also coming to PC as well. And coming to PC on Game Pass, Control, which is awesome because I haven't played that yet, but I'm going to play it on PC now. Muppet Show classics are coming to Disney Plus, so we'll be able to watch old episodes of the Muppet Show on Disney Plus, which I'm quite
You'll
excited
be very
about.
happy.
Yeah, I love the Muppets. Yeah, definitely. Did you see that also Swedish Chef is now in Overcooked too as one of the playable characters? So you can play a Swedish Chef. That's really, really cool.
Nice.
Fallout New Vegas is getting a massive new mod. I don't know whether you guys have already seen this. New Vegas, the Frontier, it's set in Portland now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It looks freaking awesome. Looks really, really cool.
Yeah, really clever stuff. There's a couple of really good mods I've just seen some news for as well. In here, I don't know whether you've got on your list, but I saw they're trying to create. There's a team that have been working since 2012 to recreate Oblivion in Skyrim.
That's cool.
Skyrim engine, a concerted effort to create Morrowind. Have I thrown?
Yeah.
Morrowind, yeah, you are. But Morrowind's huge.
Morrowind is huge. Morrowind's probably bigger than Skyrim and Oblivion, isn't it? Massive.
By a long way, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. Exciting stuff, though. I think we'll leave that news to last. So, we're getting a Willy Wonka Origins movie.
Oh, come on.
I don't want one. I don't
How he
want to
became a
know.
paedophile.
He's more interesting. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like I just like to think my paedophiles come from nowhere. I don't need to know where they originally came from.
I never really got a pedo vibe from the books. It's very much the Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, not the Gene Hackman one.
No, he just like killing kids in that one.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. That's. I mean, you know, not to get base about it. That's almost the opposite of a paedophile.
I mean, I suppose. Let's not get into that, shall we?
I don't want origin stories for all these characters. Sometimes they can just be an interesting character without you having to have examples of things that happened to them in their childhood that made them go this way.
You said it, babes. That I totally agree with that. We don't need that.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter, Han Solo, Willy Wonka. They can, you know, they don't need origins, and it
all killers are
devalues
paedophiles
them every time.
Yeah. So last bit of news, I thought I'd save this one to last. One of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candles reportedly exploded. You've gone very quiet, Duncan.
How does a candle explode exactly?
What?
Yeah. So this is the news.
Vagina candle. What the? Come on.
Okay,
I haven't
so-
heard
Okay,
anything.
we can't get
I'll
into
dig
this
into this
now.
one a bit, shall we?
But just if you Google Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle,
Yeah.
you'll see the whole ridiculous thing.
And one of them exploded.
Okay, so according to comicbook.com, to kick off Candle Corner at comicbook.com in 2021, we have an important news bulletin update as Gwyneth Paltrow's notorious candle that retails for $75 and is called This Is Smells Like My Vagina Candle is back in the news. Previously making headlines due to the outrageous name of the candle and then later for selling out, the original Goop product has returned to the news after a shocking report from a notorious British tabloid, The Sun. According to the outlets, which offers photographic evidence, a woman in the UK lit her Paltrow candle and it exploded in a home with a nearly 2-foot flame. I'll do a voice. The candle exploded and emitted huge flames, with bits flying everywhere, Jodie Thompson of the North London said. I've never seen anything like it. The whole thing was ablaze and it was too hot to touch. There was an inferno in the room. We eventually got it under control and threw it out the front door. It could have burned the place down, though. It was scary time.
Had they left this candle on like a bottle of camping gas or something?
But funny looking back that Gwyneth's vagina candle exploded in my living room.
I'm worried about these people's candle operation practice. Candles can't explode.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
that's quite something.
This one can, apparently.
What are you saying?
Can we start using it when, like whenever anything goes wrong? Like, we could probably say that Cyberpunk 2077's launch was like Gwyneth's vagina candle exploding in your living room.
When up in flames like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle
There we go.
exploding in the living room.
Every time anything ever goes wrong in the industries that we cover again, we should literally use that as the
I love that it's not even Gwyneth Paltrow's, it's Gwyneth's vagina candle, implying that once you've spent $75 on one of her vagina candles, then you just get called by first name.
Do you think this is like a knockoff vagina candle that she's bought from like
Who's
eBay or
knocking
something?
off vagina candles?
Oh, I mean, I can guarantee you people are making knockoffs of this one because it's very popular.
So could
Duncan's so amazed he's left.
Sonia from EastEnders vagina candle, that kind of thing.
So could I sort of say that when I heard that Ethan Hawke was going to be playing Dracula, I was more shocked than that couple whose living room was just when Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle.
That's perfect, yeah.
It's a very clunky and unwieldy sentence, which is what makes it particularly enjoyable.
But it's fun. It's a fun journey. So
I'm literally
so
going to write down on a notepad, post-it note, Gwyneth's vagina candle, and that is now going to go on my laptop.
Well, we've wanged on for an hour a bit and finished talking about Gwyneth Paltrow's bits, so worth it.
So this candle apparently started as a joke between perfumer Douglas Little and Gwyneth Paltrow. The description for the candle reads, the two were involved in a fragrance and she blurted out, this smells like a vagina, but evolved into a funny, gorgeous, sexy, beautifully unexpected scent.
Hey, we're not advertising the fucking thing.
We did a test run.
Until she puts a thing up on Goop recommending this podcast, we're not talking about her products anymore.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't think we've got much crossover in our demographics. I don't think many people read Goop and listen to us.
Let us know if you're interested in a Gwyneth Paltrow fanny candle,
or if you'd like, if you would like a bath bomb that is shaped like Dan's nose or something like that. We can
we should do our own one. Oh my god, we should totally release our own fragrance.
What? Dan's arse candle.
Odor
This athlete's foot spray smells like Tom's butt cheeks.
Yes.
There you go.
God, there's a lot of hair in the bar.
Do you play a lot of games? Are you a podcaster?
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time sitting in front of your console or your computer? Well, now you can also have the fragrance of put your favourite podcasters smell.
Oh, we'd have to release a gamer edition as well.
Fucking hell, we're going to get there eventually, are we, Duncan?
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of either a candle, but that would just be a fire hazard. I don't know, scent.
Do you want a scourer that looks like Dan's thatch?
Does it just look like it? It is it. One of a kind.
Scented mouse mat that looks like a jumper.
Yeah.
Or smells.
Shaved it, wrapped it in cling film, put a pipe clean around it. There you go.
I mean, we can only really ever sort of put one of those up for sale every, 6 months or so, couldn't we? Like, we need to get Dan to basically cultivate a matted thatch that's thick enough to actually clean your dishes.
Even rarer is the kind of like arse crack to gooch thatch, like a scourer. That takes a while. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Well, at least it means that every 3 months we'd at least have one product on the marketplace. Anyway,
yeah,
shall I wrap this motherfucker up?
Please do.
Done.
Anyway, Dan, well done, mate. Scoured the internet for all sorts of news. Thank you very much.
Went to one website.
Went to our website, opened all the tabs. Thank you to Dan, but also that segues me nicely to say thank you very much for all of our viewers on the stream on YouTube. Wave, everyone. Wave. That's what they deserve.
Does anyone actually have any questions?
No.
Who? What questions?
Fine. Thank you. Well done. Well, thanks for streaming. Appreciate that. Anyone who was listening to the podcast.
Oh dear.
But, would be great if you check the stream out every now and then. That would be great. We do it.
What about
Oh, fucking frozen. I've frozen us again. Here we go. So yeah, if you were listening on iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud, or something like that, brilliant. Thank you very much. Watch the stream next time. I guarantee you it'll be really nice because you'll be able to see what we look like. And sometimes we spell our names correctly on our little windows as well, so you see how the names are spelled as well. If you enjoyed any of the Dan scoured the internet for us, please let us know your opinions on them. You can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook using @TMTOOH if you like. If not, don't worry about it. That's absolutely fine. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going to say goodbye to Dan. Goodbye to Russ.
Thanks, babe. See you next time.
Goodbye to Duncan.
Night.
It's goodbye from me, Tom. And on that note, let's cue the music.